It's playoff time in the NBA as we go through our play-in games, both in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. First, we'll go to the 7-8 game in the Western Conference between the Mavericks and the Lakers. Lakers are the 7 seed, the Mavericks are the 8. It was a pretty close game throughout, but then the Mavericks are going to pull out the victory in overtime, 126-124, led by Luka Doncic, of course. So the Lakers await the winner of the Thunder-Suns game, and the Suns end up getting the win 103-102 off a last-second bucket by Devin Booker. And so the Thunder's season ends in just disappointing and heartbreaking fashion. That brings us to the 7-8 game in the Eastern Conference, as the Washington Wizards head up north across the border to take on the 7th seed Toronto Raptors. The Wizards did win the season series 2-1, but this time around the stakes are much higher as the Raptors starting lineup is Fred VanVleet, Grayson Allen, OG Anunoby, Scottie Barnes, and Pascal Siakam. The winner of this game will battle the 2-seed Milwaukee Bucks, while the loser will await the Knicks or the Nets, the winner of the 9-10 game, in order for the right to take on the Sixers in the first round. Raptors win the tip, and here is Fred VanVleet driving inside against DeJounte Murray, and he's going to get the layup to go in, and the Raptors strike first blood. Murray and company look to respond here as he passes out to Porzingis, working against VanVleet, and he's going to take him into the paint, and this is just a big mismatch as Porzingis is easily able to lay it up off the glass, and we're tied at 2. Raptors in transition now, and Kuzma has to foul Scottie Barnes, who still gets the bucket to go, and he misses the free throw, so we're tied at 4 now after the Wizards get some free throws. Here's Barnes working against Kuzma, drives inside, and he turns around, and the hook goes in for him. Scottie Barnes, of course, a former Florida State Seminole. I wasn't a big fan of him in college, to be completely honest with you, but he's been pretty big for the Raptors so far as Porzingis gets a bucket to tie it up at 6. Pass inside to Grayson Allen, and somehow Beal just loses him, and these two teams just going back and forth early on. Beal gets the pick from Kuzma. He gets doubled, passes out to Kuzma, and he hits the 3. And the Wizards take their first lead of the game. Now they're up 13-8. Allen gets away from Murray, and then Porzingis just slips for some reason, and Allen gets the bucket. The Wizards call a timeout just under 6 minutes to go, up by 3. So now Murray going to kick inside to Porzingis. He's backing down Precious Achiuwa, and Porzingis lays it up, and somehow it goes in despite very good defense from Achiuwa there. And it's a 5-point game. So now here's Beal. He just ignores the picks. He's going to take it in 2-on-1, and he's able to get the layup to go in. And it's a 7-point lead for the Wizards. So now here's the pass to Beal. He drives inside, and he slams it despite the defense from Barnes. And the Wizards are up by 9 now. Raptors just trying to stay alive in this one as Allen drives inside, kicks it out to Barnes, who's wide open, and he hits the 3. And maybe this could be the start of the Raptors coming back a little bit. Now it's 21-14, 3.5 to go in the first quarter, and Will Barton slams it in off the pick. And the Wizards are playing pretty well so far in this first quarter as Allen passes it to Boucher, and Earl Jenkins just gives him way too much space. And the Wizards' lead is cut down to 6. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Here's the former Wizard Otto Porter. I totally didn't mean to rhyme there. Or did I? He slams it down, and now it's a 4-point game. And now here's a 3 from Boucher. Misses it. He's rebounded by Achiuwa, and he goes back up with it and throws it down as Jenkins is just out of position. Now, final seconds of the first quarter. Johnny Davis pulls up from the wing, and he hits the 3. And the Wizards extend their lead out to 5 as we end this first quarter. 28-23 is your score. So the Wizards had a pretty good first quarter, but they just got to keep it going here. Again, they only really have one shot at the Raptors here as Gafford going to kick it out to Barton. Sets a pick. Barton pulls up inside the 3-point line. Rebounded by Gafford, and he throws it down himself on the putback. So now here's Allen working against Avdia, and he's going to pull up for 3. It goes in. Denny just lost his position there. And now the Raptors trying to make this a close game again. Allen drives inside, and he gets the bucket. There was a time a lot of people thought Grayson Allen wasn't going to develop into much in the NBA, but he's been pretty solid for the Raptors so far this season as Beal pulls up for 3, and he hits it. Now up to 15 points in this game. And Bradley Beal is on full backpack mode right now. As Porzingis gets the steal, he's going to air it out to Kuzma, and he lays it up. And the Wizards are up by 6 now. So now the Raptors look to respond here as Allen passes inside to Barnes. And he gets by Kuzma, gets the bucket off the glass. So now a 5-point game after a free throw by the Wizards. And here's Allen kicking out to a wide open Gary Trent. And the shot from just inside the 3-point line goes in. And we are down to a 3-point lead for the Wizards as Beal drives inside. And he's going to put Precious Achiuwa on a poster. Beautiful dunk there by Beal. And now Denny gets Otto Porter to jump off the pump fake. And he's able to get the bucket. Made that a little bit harder than it needed to be. Pause. So now a 4-point game. Beal going to pull up from mid-range. And he makes it a 6-point game. So over 4 minutes to go. Beal turns the ball over this time. And here come the Raptors in transition as Allen is stopped by DeLon Wright. And now he's trying to figure out what to do. He gets it out to Trent, passes the Barnes for 3, and it goes in. Scottie Barnes has had a pretty good game so far himself. So now a 3-point game. And now Barnes working against Kuzma once again. Lays it up and is good. And it's now just a 1-point deficit for the Raptors as the Wizards burn yet another timeout. So Wright going to give it to Porzingis. And he's going to take it and just back down to Chua, as this has been a pretty big mismatch so far, but he's going to kick it out to Wright, gets the ball back, and now he's really backing him down, and he lays it up. Easy money for Porzingis. And the Wizards are shooting 48% from the field to the Raptors 47%, so pretty good shooting from both of these teams. And look at Grayson Allen. He finds a lane and he slams it down, and once again it's a 1-point game. Beal drives inside, passes the Porzingis, but Achiuwa gets the steal. And here come the Raptors looking to take the lead here. And it's laid up and good by Gary Trent. And the Raptors have the lead back. Now it's tied at 49 with over a minute to go. Allen going to pull up for 3. Hits it. And it is a 3-point Raptors lead now. Allen with 16 points so far in this game. Wright going to drive inside for the Wizards. Passes inside to Gafford. And he's going to get the lead back for the Wizards now. It's 53-52. So now Porter working against Davis. He drives inside, and he's going to slam it in. And the Raptors take the lead back. And now Wright going to pass to Davis. Davis trying to hit another last-second shot, but this one does not go in. And it's still anybody's ball game at halftime. The Raptors with a 1-point lead over the Wizards. And this has been a good one so far. Now the Wizards with the ball to start the second half. Here is DeJounte Murray. Only 1 point in the first half. He's looking to do a little bit more this time around, but this time he passes to Porzingis, and he gets an easy dunk to give the Wizards a 1-point lead. Now here's Barnes. He had a big first half, working against Kuzma, and he's going to slam it down. Kuzma just cannot hang with Barnes in this one, who has 16 points now. As Beal, working against Allen, gets the pick from Porzingis, kicks it out. He's wide open for the 3, and KP up to 15 points in this game, and he gives the Wizards the lead back. But now here is a steal by Porzingis now, and here come the Wizards in transition. Murray passes inside to Denny, and he's going to slam it down once again to make it a 4-point game. Boucher misses a free throw that would have made it a 2-point deficit for the Raptors, and now here comes Kuzma passing over to Beal. He's going to hit the shot inside the 3-point line, and it's 62-57. Beal up to 22 points in this game. And then Chris Boucher going to be called for an illegal screen. That'll pick up a foul for him. So now the Wizards look to extend the lead. Here's Beal off a couple of picks from Kuzma and Porzingis. He's able to get the bucket up to 24 points now. And now here come the Wizards in transition. Murray kicks it out to Beal. He's getting double teamed now. He finds Murray, and Murray's going to get his first field goal of the game with that 3, as the Wizards are now on a 16-3 run. And the Raptors burn a timeout just to get themselves together. They're down by 12 now. Barnes working against Kuzma once again. He's going to drive right past Porzingis and slams it once again. The Wizards got to think about putting a double team here. And then Boucher going to slam it down off the alley-oop from Barnes. And once again, the Raptors are starting to get it together offensively. But now they have to find a way to stop Beal. Passes it into Porzingis, and he's going to get the bucket and the foul. Boucher with his 4th foul of the game. And he's really going to have to watch himself. And then Porzingis with a huge block. But it goes right to Boucher, who passes it to Allen, who hits the 3. But still a great play by Porzingis. Now Allen going to work against Porzingis here, and this time he gets a clean block, and Kuzma gets the rebound. Here come the Wizards in transition. Pass over to Beal. He's going to hit the three, and that gives the Wizards an 11-point lead halfway through the third quarter. But they got to find a way to stop Scottie Barnes, and Kuzma's not going to do it there as Barnes gets the bucket and the foul. And now it's an 8-point game. So now DeJounte Murray's covering Barnes, but Barnes going to get right by him off the pick from Boucher to get the bucket. And now it's a 6-point game. Barnes up to 23. So now here's Murray working against Trent. Now Beal gets a pick from both Murray and Gafford, drives inside, and he's able to get the bucket. Boucher with pretty porous defense right there. And now here is Beal covering Barnes. But Barnes gets it out to Trent, who hits the three from the wing. Now it's a 5-point game. So here's the pass to Davis. He gets Boucher to jump, and then Davis going to kind of slam it down. I mean, that's more of a layup, but hey, I'll give him an A for effort. Either way, it's a 7-point game. And now here is Porter shaking off Davis to hit the bucket for the Raptors. And now DeLon Wright looking to respond. He gets double-teamed, kicks it out to Gafford. Gafford, not a three-point shooter, so he has to move inside, and he gets the mid-range jumper to go in. And it's a 7-point game. So now the Raptors going to inbound it after it goes out of bounds. So they're going to try to figure out what to do here. And it's passed inside to Achua, and Gafford just completely loses sight of him. And it's a 5-point game once again. Now Barton going to pass inside to Gafford, and Gafford going to get a little payback here as he puts Achua on a poster. So now Trent working against Barton here. Passes inside to Anunoby. We haven't seen much of him today, but he's going to get that bucket to go. As the Raptors are just not going away. They're staying within 5 as much as they can. Now Barton going to pass inside to Gafford. Nice little two-man game between those two. And it's 87-80. So I mentioned we haven't really seen much of OG Anunoby, but the real shocker is we haven't seen Pascal Siakam do much of anything, but he hits a three there, and we go into the fourth quarter with the Wizards up 87-83, but it's still anybody's game here. Raptors start off with the ball here to begin this fourth quarter as Grayson Allen passes to Barnes. Now Beal working against Barnes, and Barnes gets an easy bucket there, and now it is just a 2-point game. Beal gets a little help from his European friends, and he's going to drive in and slam it down as he gets right by both Porter and Barnes. Good picks there by Denny and Porzingis, and then Porzingis sets another pick, and this time Beal going to feed Porzingis, and then a pass right back to Beal. Beal working against Barnes, and he puts up the shot from the elbow, and it goes in, and it's a 6-point game. Beal up to 33 now. And now Beal working against Porter, gets a pick from Porzingis, and he's going to reward Porzingis with a pass, and he's going to hit the three. And just like that, the Wizards are off to a 9-0 run, and the Raptors need to get something going here on this possession, and they sure do as Kuzma just completely loses Boucher there. And now a 6-point game with under 9 minutes to go, and then Barnes going to slam it down again. He has had a huge game so far, up to 30 points. But now Beal looking to show him how it's done. Up to 33 in this game, and he is going to shake off Porter and gets the bucket. 98-93 is the score. The Raptors still alive in this one. Pass inside to Barnes as Kuzma's inside there. And now Porter going to shoot the three after the pass. And now a 2-point game. And now Allen going to pass to Boucher, and he's going to tie it up at 98. So the Raptors just march right back despite being down by double digits early in the quarter. And now Beal lays it up, and he gives the Wizards the lead back. This has been an all-time classic so far, even for a play-in game, as Gary Trent drives inside. Blocked by Porzingis. He gets his own rebound, though. And Grayson Allen in the corner hits the three, and the Raptors have the lead back. What a game this has been so far, as Murray drives inside, passes to Porzingis, and he slams it. And the Wizards have the lead now. These two teams going back and forth in the late stages of this game. And it's now Barnes drives inside. Porzingis tries to block. And the shot is no good. But there is a foul. And now Barnes has a chance to give the Raptors the lead back here. But he misses the first free throw. Then he misses the second as well. So now the Wizards still have the lead here with just over 4 minutes to go. Little pick and roll between Murray and Porzingis. And KP gets the bucket. So now a 3-point lead for the Wizards. There's still plenty of time to go. Allen going to pass inside to Trent. And now Trent lays it up and it goes in. So now just a 1-point deficit for the Raptors as Murray gets the pick from Kuzma. Gets double teamed, passes over to Kuz. Back to Murray. He pulls up from the wing and it goes in. So the Wizards extend their lead out to 4 now. Time's starting to run out for the Raptors, but they still have plenty of it though. And now Boucher working against Porzingis, and Porzingis just jumps way too early. And that makes it an easy bucket for Boucher. So now here's Denny in the corner, working against Anunoby, and he's going to slam it down and makes it a 4-point game. Denny's been pretty quiet for us. We've talked about how quiet OG's been so far, as Beal slams it down for back-to-back dunks for the Wizards. But the former champion Raptors are not going to give up here as Grayson Allen gets a layup to go in. And now with under a minute to go, the Raptors trail by 6. They still have time though as Barnes passes inside to Boucher and he gets the layup to go in. 115 to 111 now as Beal gets double teamed here. He's going to get it over to Murray. And now the Wizards going to try to run some clock here as Beal drives inside and slams it in. And that makes it a 6-point ball game with 36.2 to go as the Raptors burn a timeout. But now here's Allen who gets wide open off the inbound. He misses it. Rebounded by Avdia. And now Kuzma's going to get fouled with 31.2 to go. Wizards make it an 8-point game. And then Barnes nearly loses it there. Trent puts up the 3 and it goes in. And the Wizards burn a timeout with 17.1 to go, up by 5. So things not looking good for the Raptors. The Wizards hit 1 free throw. So the Raptors still have a chance theoretically, but Grayson Allen can't make the 3, no good. And now Trent wide open for 3. He's going to miss, and this time it's rebounded by Kuzma. And that's all she wrote as the Wizards win 121 to 114. And the Wizards are officially in the playoff bracket and will take on the 2-seeded Bucks in the first round of the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Raptors will have to wait for the winner of Knicks and Nets, which you'll see shortly. But first things first, looking at the stats, Bradley Beal with 43 points and 5 assists in this game. Kristaps Porzingis, 29 points and 16 rebounds, as well as 3 steals and 5 blocks. DeJounte Murray added 10 points and 9 assists, as well as 5 steals. Gafford had 10 points, Avdia had 8, and Kuzma had 8 points and 10 rebounds. Scottie Barnes had 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists to lead the Raptors. Grayson Allen with 27 points and 10 assists, and was also 4 of 8 from three-point range. Gary Trent with 16 points, Chris Boucher with 14 and 8 rebounds. This was definitely not an easy matchup at all. Scottie Barnes had a hell of a game, and I didn't really count on Grayson Allen being as big a part of the offense in this game as he was, but maybe that's just because I don't know basketball as well as I probably should. So now let's simulate the rest of the play-in tournament as the Knicks take on the Nets. The Knicks are the 10 seed, the Nets are the 9. And it was a close game in the first half, but in a big third quarter from the Knicks gets them the victory, 130 to 118. So now we go for the 8th seed play-in game between the Lakers and the Suns. Two teams who have been to NBA Finals recently. Of course, the Lakers won one while the Suns didn't win theirs, and the Lakers blow out the Suns 119 to 93. And now the Knicks take on the Raptors for the right to take on the Celtics. I know I said the Sixers earlier. I'm not going to go back and re-record over it. But the Raptors pull away and they win this one 128 to 105, and they'll take on the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. So now we take a look at the Wizards' opponents in the first round, the Milwaukee Bucks, and of course, they are led by the Greek freak himself, Giannis Antetokounmpo. My personal favorite player in the NBA who doesn't play for the Wizards, and quite arguably the best player in the league right now. He averaged 25.7 points per game, along with 11.3 rebounds and 5.7 assists as well, and 1.8 blocks, which helped him get on the all-defensive team. But Giannis is far from the only threat on this team. We'll also have to worry about Chris Middleton, who can be absolutely lethal from three-point range, but is a pretty good mid-range shooter as well. Giannis might not be the best three-point shooter himself, but when you have guys like Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, you don't have to really worry too much about all that. Speaking of Holiday, not only is he a good shooter, but he's also a very good defender on the perimeter. I don't think that Bradley Beal's going to have to worry about him a whole lot, but DeJounte Murray is going to have to be on his P's and Q's. Kristaps Porzingis is going to have to worry about Brook Lopez, who's really developed into a pretty good 3-level scorer late in his career. And we can't sleep on Lonnie Walker, who is a pretty good interior finisher, but can also hit the 3 pretty well. And that's just the Bucks starters. They still have a pretty strong bench with guys like Joe Ingles, Rudy Gay, Bobby Portis Jr., Serge Ibaka, and even George Hill. As you can imagine, this is not going to be an easy series at all, especially having to deal with Giannis. But we did split the season series with the Bucks, and that gives me a little bit of confidence that we can somehow pull this one out. Just an overview of the other matchups. In the West, the 1-8 matchup is going to be Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans taking on LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. In the 4-5 matchup, Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. In the 3-6 matchup, Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers take on Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers. And last but not least, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies take on Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. Now, aside from our matchup, in the East, you have the 1-seeded Boston Celtics led by Jason Tatum, hosting Spicy P, Pascal Siakam, and Scottie Barnes, and the 8-seed Raptors. In the 4-5 matchup, you have Zach LaVine and the Chicago Bulls taking on Joel Embiid and the 5th-seed Philadelphia 76ers. And last but not least, you have Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks taking on Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and the 6th-seed Cleveland Cavaliers. So, not too many weird teams in the playoffs. In the West, it's kind of weird not seeing the Suns in there. Obviously, the Spurs are rebuilding, so that's not too much of a surprise. And in the East, it's only really weird not seeing the Nets or the Heat in the playoffs. And I guess the Knicks as well. But here we are, we're in the playoffs. Can we pull the upset over Milwaukee? Well, you guys are just going to have to keep watching to find out.